Welcome YouTube to another 5 minutes or less Trill Time Series Episode 3. And today we'll be discussing what is Vessel's testimony after this intro.
Pocket slam, but my soul rich. Bodies in the sun for the lick. Blood bought, no counterfeit. Count my soul came out rich. Word in my heart, that's a grip. Presence in the kingdom's holy hill.
Before we go any further, make sure you like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can see when I drop any more content. Well, I grew up in a partially Christian household. My dad's wife was a Christian and attended church and Bible study, and so did me and her son as well. My heart was never there. I liked my mother's house more because it was more freedom. She wasn't strict and I could do what I wanted to do. As a younger child, I developed a hatred for church. I didn't like church. I didn't like going. I didn't like dressing up. As I grew older, I just identified with God and just the label Christianity and being a Christian. I never knew what all that entails. Now, in the midst of that time, I stayed with my mother. I was blinded by the streets and the allure of it. Now, when I look at it, I see how it played a part in my life and how it became. So in that time, it was also drinking, smoking, lick, sex. But even as an unbeliever, I used to have thoughts like, if I die, I just can't believe I just not exist. Yes, it was eternity in my heart that made me think that way. Prison, I heard about crazy horror stories with all these things happen, plus the things I've seen on TV. I can't lie, I was kind of scared. I was praying to the Lord. I'm like, man, keep me safe in here. You know, we have those prayers where we just call to God, like, hey, if you get me out of this, I'm gonna do right. It was those, but I still felt like it was genuine in a way. And when I went to the adult spread I was at, I was going to church services there and reading the word. Though I didn't have the spirit to understand the word of God, I was still making strides. There was still some type of faith being implemented in that time. But I ended up falling to the wayside and getting caught up in the politics of prison with drugs coming in. I'm smoking weed there. And there's even times where I was smoking weed visibly in the bathroom. CO come in, like, what are you doing? And I just get up from the stall. The stall was extra small where it's just like, if you come in the bathroom, you can see over, like, who's in it. He comes in like, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm just leaving. And I got away with so much things that I should have got caught for. So in this time of this year in prison, from 2013 up to 2014 February, one day that I can remember. I was walking in the dorm. I think I was going to my bed, my bunk. I heard a voice speak to me in my head so loud and clear and said, you're gonna do Christian rap. I laughed it off. I waved it off like, wow, really? But the crazy thing I think about is like, man, this couldn't have came from the enemy. Why would he want me to do that? I'm already still writing secular raps while I'm in here. I kinda laughed it off. Also, this dude that used to beat on the table for me, make beats, and I used to be rapping over it or whatever. I was telling him like, yo, I'm gonna do Christian rap when I get out. When I got out of prison, things was extra crazy. Like, I felt the spirit of darkness in my neighborhood. I never felt that way before. I really felt the presence of the darkness in my household with my family members. It literally had me scared. But my granddad, God rest his soul, he was a deacon at a church, and I pretty much got up under his wing in that time. He used to take me to church with him, sow words of wisdom into my life, also helped me with the word of God. Shout out to Mr. Kenny. He also played a part in sowing into me seeds of the word of God and explaining things to me that I didn't know. I remember coming to Lecrae, listening to him and the reach artists. Then I just went down the web and just found all these different artists, and they really were evangelizing me and showing me how far I was from God. Just remember breaking down in the room, wholeheartedly repenting my sin. I remember the words of Jesus. He was saying to Nicodemus, the spirit is like the wind. You don't know from which it came or where it goes. It's exactly how the spirit came. So after that, got around a good brother that was going to the church my granddad attended. He pretty much was discipling one another and just also the music. So I say all that to say, no matter where you are, what you've been through, God can still meet you where you He met me in the project. The Spirit came upon me while I stayed in the hood. He redeemed me, washed me clean of my sin. Though I still fall short of the glory of God, now I am given grace. I am seen as a child of God in his eyes. Now I am righteous because he is righteous. So just remember, God died for us while we were yet sinners, while we were his enemies. So no matter how bad you are, come to him. I'm your man, Vessel. Peace.